Okay, Dynamite Delight. Guys, this show felt like middle of the road. Yes, we had a good Double or Nothing, but not a great one, but a good one. There was nothing wrong with the show. It was not bad. It wasn't perfect. Not every match there was great, but it wasn't bad. We get here another good Dynamite, but not a great Dynamite. It's the middle of the road. And it's going to make you think, are they trying to build up the Forbidden Door and build up the Collision? Is this kind of a throwaway show? And I'll give you my thoughts about that in a minute. But this is what we got. Opening, Blackpool Combat Club versus Bandito and the Lucha Brothers. A random match. And you'll notice that this is what we got for the show. A lot of random matches. That, are we trying to set something up or not? That's a big question. Are we trying to set up the trio's title picture against the House of Black? Don't know. It's not mentioned and it doesn't feel like it. It just feels like a match they just threw together because they wanted to throw just something together. So in the end, the Blackpool Combat Club wins. Now, was the match bad? No. Bryan Danielson was on commentary, which helped the match. But it just felt like it was filler. Like random. I'm just saying. Next match, you got Big Bill versus Strickland versus Trent, and it's because of the Battle Royal, and you wonder why the match is going on, which is not a bad match. Bill's gotten better in the ring. He's not great, but he's better now. You see Strickland is good, and then you see Trent was okay. And in the end, Strickland won, but then you wonder, what now? Does this mean, and it did come out, that Strickland will be going after the International Championship? That should be next week. I believe it's next week, unless it's this Friday. I can't remember. But it did lead to that. But it wasn't said ahead of time that this triple threat was going to lead to the International Championship. It didn't say it. So it felt random. And it felt like another filler match that they wanted to give a Orange Cassidy to. And I want to say, I know the gripes about Orange Cassidy. I know. Flat out, they've overexposed him. I am not telling you he isn't overexposed. He is heavily overexposed as international champion. He should have never won the Battle Royal. I'm telling you right now, he should never been in the Battle Royal, and he should never won it. They've overexposed him. But I'm going to tell you this, and I know people are not going to agree with me. What do you rather have? An overexposed champion that, as I said in the comments to somebody, Tony Khan, who loves wrestling, yes, he's overexposed a Orange Cassidy and let him stay champ in a way that was just not right. Shouldn't have. But at least you know they can turn on a dime, because if it's necessary, you will see Tony do what he needs to do, because he loves wrestling. He doesn't want to piss off the fans. When you look at Vince, that World Championship, and you look at Seth freaking Rollins, I don't see that. It makes no difference what you say that, oh, at least with Seth, it'll be once in a while, and it'll make it mean something. No, it won't. Because still Vince is booking the show. We already heard that he's doing it remotely, and he should have been defending that damn title Monday, not having a tag match with AJ Styles, who should have never been on the show, because they made it very clear, you're not supposed to be there. There was no reason for him there. Vince just wanted AJ there, and he broke the draft, which makes the entire thing invalid, which no one gives a damn about the title. They only care about Seth. That's the problem. The people care about Seth. They're all supposed to care on the title. They don't give a fuck about the title. Seth is not going to make that title. He can't, because Vince won't let him. I'm just saying, let's move on. Now, we got the Gates of Anarchy versus Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. What does that lead? That's another random match. You got Orange Cassidy having a match with Darby Allin, who just did that very great match, or the Four Pillars match. There's no setup for this. There's nothing to make it mean something. Wouldn't it have been interesting that Orange Cassidy, working with him before Strickland even was announced to be the International Championship #1 contender, why don't you say Darby Allin to go after the damn title? Why not? Why not? It makes perfect sense. He wants a title. He doesn't care at this point. He's pissed off he couldn't get the main title. So why not go after another one? Why not go after Orange Cassidy? You can always say that Darby Allin kind of skirts that in-betweener. Almost. No. We had a good match. You get to see the mobile affiliates at ringside. Well, not ringside, but up the ramp near the Titantron. But honestly, what do you gain? What do you gain from the match? Nothing. It was a good random match. But maybe it would have been better the House of Black being out there to talk, to say who's our next challengers. I'm just saying. Let's get to the Acclaim moment, where this was one part of the place of the card that was good. And seeing that the Acclaim didn't win against the House of Black, but they still care. They care about getting championship. They care about Billy Gunn. Excuse me. And Billy said, I'm sorry, I ruined this spot for both of them. It's my fault. And they're telling him, no. When one of us lose, we all lose. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And it was made very, very clear when it came to Bowman. Bowman said clearly that he is the best wrestler. No, not Bowman. Caster said he's the best wrestler. Bowman is the 5-tool, and Billy's the legend, and he deserves gold. And everyone started cheering. This is where it gets a little iffy, because you got a legend who is working with a young, talented team who is way over where people would like to see him get a title. Honestly, reaching as far as he's gone, he's so over at this point, they may have to consider giving him a title. He may need the TNT title or the international title. He needs a title. If they're not going to give them the trios, which would have made sense against the House of Black, because if you let the Acclaim win, they would have actually had more better sense. It would have been more sensible to let the Acclaim win against the House of Black. I'm not happy the House of Black would have lost, but the Acclaim is way more over than the House of Black. I'm just saying. Let's go to Statlander versus Nia Rose. This was a tune-up match. Honestly, because of what happened, and you saw Taya Valkyrie, my girl, watching the match, which pissed me off, that they did not need to do that with Taya. They did not need to have her work their ass off, even though that's the fan in me that's wanting Taya to be the spot. But as the reviewer, I understand why they did it. They wanted to set up how hard Jade Cargill had to work. But then Statlander finally came back, who's always been very close to having her number. And that's the reason why you got Statlander winning over Jade Cargill next to, let's be honest, she was one that Tony Khan Richie wanted 9 months ago before she got hurt and blew out her other knee. And that was something to see, because she's got braces now on both knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. She's got 2 braces on her knees. That girl better hope that she don't sneeze wrong, because if she blows out her knee again, there ain't going to be much of a knee to fix. She will be done. But was the match good? It was okay. There was no setup for Jade Cargill. And this is a kicker. Jade's gone. I believe she's gone on vacation. They didn't say that Jade was not going to get a rematch. She just isn't there. She's gone. She's not there. She's been working for more than a year and a half as the champion week in, week out, Rampage and Dynamite. Now she said probably, I want some time. I want some Jade time. She's gone. Without even announcing that she's going to have a rematch. She just is gone. Nia Rose is now coming in. And that kind of diminishes Nia Rose, because they don't say why she gets this opportunity. You don't know, because there's no elevation and there's no more dark. So you don't know why she's getting it. And then she gets this shot, which, yeah, she did a decent job in it. But the problem is, there was no build to it. There's no Jade Cargill coming out who basically is stating, you know what, you can have that damn title. I've done all I can with it. Ain't nothing but a piece of garbage without me. I'm going on vacation. That would have made sense. No, she just isn't there. So it feels empty. That's just me telling me below. Tony announced let's make this, no, actually, let's go to, should we talk about FTR? Let's talk about what happened with FTR with Ricky Starks and Bullet Club Gold. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Bullet Club Gold going after FTR. And now you have to add Ricky Starks in it, because that's how their feud got started between Juice Robinson and Tony Stark. Well, not Tony, but Ricky Starks. I mean, another reason I'm watching Ricky Starks with Tony Starks of Iron Man is because it doesn't feel important. Because what does this really give Ricky Starks? Nothing. He's going after a Jay White again, but it doesn't have a title connected to it. Only title that can be done is through FTR, who came out because Jay White started talking about them because they interfered with the beatdown of a Ricky Starks. It doesn't feel like it's really connecting correctly from going one piece to another. It's just me. It's easily early days before Forbidden Door, before they can really build up into Forbidden Door. So probably next couple of weeks we will get more elaboration to a lot of these feuds, hopefully, before Forbidden Door happens. That's just me, guys, down below. Now, Tony Khan. What we've been waiting for. Sorry if that was loud. Guys, he announced that CM Punk was going to show up at Forbidden Door, featuring CM Punk. Everybody said CM Punk is not going to be there. Everybody said CM Punk should be fired. Everybody said CM Punk doesn't have a contract. Everybody said CM Punk's going to WWE. He's showing up on Collision. He's featuring on Collision. That means he will be the star of the damn show. Whether you like it or not, CM Punk will be there on the 17th. Question's going to be, how is he going to be perceived? That's going to be a big question. Now, I'm sure Chicago's going to go crazy. Believe me. I'm sure they go crazy more than San Diego that did here, because San Diego wasn't 100% enthusiastic throughout the entire night. They were on and off. But I'm sure they're going to make it sound good, because CM Punk will be back. Let's see, what else? Don Callis and his new son, Konosuke Katesuka. This was the most energetic segment of the show. When you see someone that you hate, you get Don Callis. They hate and despise him. Think about with Dominic Mysterio. He's got the same heat. That is how loud he was. That is how good this was. And that's good to see that when it comes to Don Callis, that he is still that over, saying that I'm the one who got the Tokyo Dome done. I'm the one who made Kenny Omega. I'm the one who got him the World Heavyweight Championship and all the other titles. He didn't say Impact. He should have. Because a lot of Impact got sacrificed for that. It did. Because it was only one way. Instead of Impact being two-way street, as I said for months during that time, between Kenny Omega dealing with Impact instead of Kenny Omega, Impact, and Rick Swann or Moose in AEW. Cross-pollination is something that both companies really needed and didn't get. It was only one way, and we didn't earn anything. But it was loud. And he makes it very clear that the Elite destroyed his family. Kenny destroyed his family. He had to get a new family. Here's his new son that is better than Okada, is better than Takahashi, I believe, and better than Kenny Omega. You watch and see he's going to have his moment. And it was good that he spoke his own language. And it was also good that he spoke some English. Good. He's one of the rare times I've seen a heel Japanese wrestler being perceived correctly. He spoke in his own language. And he also spoke in English. Not perfect English, it was kind of broken, but it was done correctly. The only person that came close to that is Kata-chan, Asuka. So it is really interesting to see how far they're going to push Katesuka. Last match, Chris and Saraya versus Adam Cole and Britt Baker. I didn't think that Saraya and Chris was going to win. I knew they weren't going to win. And that was telegraphed pretty easily. There was no way they're going to let them win. And I think that was a detriment to the entire match. I think they needed to win to perpetuate this feud between the two. Because as it stands now, after the Outcasts tried to mess over Britt Baker, which they did, but Hiro Kushida came out and attacked him with a candlestick and drove him away, what did we get? Eventually we did get them winning, but now what? Does that mean there's no more Chris Jericho dealing with an Adam Cole? I don't think so. But it doesn't feel like the heels could get that moment. Yeah, it had to cheat to do it. But it felt like it needed to be more. I'm just saying. This show felt like it was middle of the road. They were cleaning up some of the stuff they needed to. They didn't really do much of a foundation building up in the Forbidden Door, but it is just the first week. They still got time. A little bit of time. Not a lot, but a little bit. But it felt like this show just wasn't really thought of as important. Usually in a premium live event, pay-per-view, I don't give a fuck. In a pay-per-view, the night after, even if it's several days later, it is important. The next show that comes out after that pay-per-view, you hit the ground running. We didn't get that. It just felt middle of the road for me personally. But you guys tell me below. Peace.